In AI, there's this relentless push to just get bigger, make the models smarter, give them more knowledge. But that creates this huge bottleneck, right? You end up stuck choosing between a model that's really smart and one that's actually efficient to run. So today, we're going to talk about a really clever way around that problem, something called a mixture of experts. Okay, so let's frame the problem a little differently. The big question that mixture of experts, or MoE, tries to solve is this. How do you pack a ton more knowledge into a model, but without making it do a ton more work for every single thought it has? And when I say thought, I mean processing just one tiny piece of information, what we call a token. It's really about getting the brain power of a huge model, but with the energy bill of a much smaller one. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about the scaling problem that made MoE so necessary in the first place. Then we'll get into the main idea, this concept of a council of experts, and the all-important router that tells them what to do. After that, we have to talk about the major trade-off. There's always a catch. Then we'll get into a really surprising discovery about what these experts actually specialize in. And finally, we'll wrap it up with the big picture, what this all means. All right, so first things first, we have to understand the core challenge here. Why do we even need a whole new architecture? Well, it all boils down to a really simple but really expensive fact about how traditional AI models work. See, in a standard model, what we call a dense model, all of its knowledge is stored in its parameters. You can think of parameters as the neurons in its brain. So pretty logically, if you want it to know more stuff, you just have to add more parameters. The model literally gets bigger. And this is where the inefficiency really kicks in. With a dense model, every time it processes anything, even a single word, the entire model has to wake up. Every single one of its billions of parameters lights up and does a calculation. That means if you have a model with 10 times the parameters, it costs 10 times the compute power for every single token. It's just not a sustainable way to grow. And that exact scaling problem is what Mixture of Experts was designed to fix. It's this really elegant shift in thinking, moving away from that one giant brain has to do everything approach. So here's the breakthrough idea. Instead of one massive do-it-all network, an MoE model is built from lots of smaller, more specialized networks. We call these the experts. And standing in front of them is another small network called a router, which basically acts as the project manager. The best way to think about it is like a big consulting firm. A client request, our token, comes in the door. It doesn't go to every single person in the building. No way. Instead, a manager, that's our router, takes a look at the request and says, okay, for this specific job, I need the specialist on finance, the one on logistics, and these 6 others. Only those 8 experts get the assignment. They do their work, their results get combined into a final report, and that's it. The other 120 experts in the building didn't have to lift a finger, which saves a phenomenal amount of work. And you can really see the payoff when you look at the numbers. Let's take the Qwen3 model as an example. It technically has 30 billion total parameters, which is massive, but for any given token it processes, it only activates about 3 billion of them. That's only around 6% of the total model. So you get the vast knowledge of a 30 billion parameter model, but the computational cost of a much, much smaller 3 billion parameter one. It's a huge win. Okay, so let's zoom in on that router for a minute, because this little component is really the secret sauce that makes this entire system work. It's the traffic controller for all that expert knowledge. The router's job is actually pretty simple, but it's absolutely critical. It's just a tiny neural network, and when a token comes in, its only job is to look at all 128 experts and give each one a score based on how useful it might be for this specific token. Then it just picks the top 8, and it also figures out how much weight to give each of their opinions in the final answer. That's it. Simple, fast, and incredibly effective. Now, you might be thinking, well, what stops the router from just getting lazy and picking the same couple of favorite experts every time? And that's a great question. It's a real problem called the rich get richer phenomenon. So to fix this, during training, there's a special penalty system in place. We call it a load balancing loss. It basically encourages the router to spread the work out evenly to make sure all the experts get a chance to learn and contribute. This all sounds almost too good to be true, right? More knowledge for less work. But, there's a catch. There is no free lunch, especially in computing. The efficiency that MoE gives you in computation comes at a cost, and it's a very specific and very big one. And that cost is memory. For that same Qwen3 30 billion parameter model we talked about, you're going to need about 61 gigabytes of high-end GPU memory just to load the thing. That's a lot. So here's the reason why. Even though you only use 8 experts for any given token, the router needs the option to call on any of the 128 experts at a moment's notice. So all 128 of them have to be loaded up and waiting in your computer's memory. This is the trade-off. You get the compute speed of a small model, but you absolutely pay the full memory price of the giant one. All right, so we've been calling these things experts. And it's so easy to imagine that they specialize in things we can understand, right? Like maybe there's a math expert, a history expert, one for writing code, another for poetry. But what researchers found when they actually looked inside is, well, it's a lot weirder than that. It turns out the experts don't specialize by topic or high-level concept at all. They specialize based on the token itself. So certain words or even parts of words and punctuation will almost always get sent to the exact same expert, no matter what the rest of the sentence is about. So a fun and actually more accurate way to think about it is that you don't really have a coding expert. What you probably have is a semicolon expert, and maybe a parentheses expert, and another one that just handles the word import. The specialization is real, but it's happening at this incredibly granular, almost mechanical level of language. So let's pull all these threads together. What's the big takeaway here? What does the rise of Mixture of Experts really tell us about where AI is going? At the end of the day, MoE is a fantastic example of working smarter, not harder. It's a design that lets us build models with truly vast knowledge while keeping the actual cost of running them for any one task surprisingly low. The price you pay for that is, of course, a huge memory footprint. And maybe the most fascinating part is realizing how these systems choose to divide labor, not by big ideas, but by the tiny individual building blocks of language itself. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Mixture of Experts is a brilliant architectural trick for managing the insane scale of modern AI. But we're already pushing towards models with trillions of parameters. So what's the next trick? What other clever hacks will engineers and researchers have to come up with to keep this whole enterprise from collapsing under its own massive weight?